Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, May the 11th, 2023. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds that you can afford to lose. Good morning, Miles. Good morning, Arizona Bob. Wild and crazy action this morning. All right, we have a get in sync, almost market open. We have a get in sync trade on the YM. I don't have my lines on the chart because I had to recreate this one. And the market is open. And there's a chance to get in that, so we should be in that trade. And taking heat immediately on the YM. Soybeans with no trade yet. And a full loss on the YM. Russell with a short. Yeah, plenty of time on that second bar, likely to be in that. Money management. Still nothing on the YM or soybeans. Crude oil. Long trade was too early, and that was fortunate because that was a full stop out. So then we pick up this trade off the 20 SMA. This dark blue goes target 1 and target 2 for 29 ticks total, 11 and 18. And one and done session. That happening at 9:02:16. Entry at 71.39. And popping back up, and we're done there. There is a long on soybeans. Soybeans should be long. I think there was time to get in that. I'll have to see where things go. Targets 3 and 4 on the micro Russell, and trailing down just below target 1 to 48.7 for a win on trade number 1. Yeah. Crude got one and done. Unleaded was a whole nother story. 9:01:14, we pick up the long. 9 seconds on the bar to get in. Probably in it there. And certainly in it when it comes back, unless you wait for it to come back and waited for it to come back, test the low, and then come back up. But that is a full loss. This is going to be a losing session. We come back with another long. Plenty of time to have the order in that. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars before it triggers on the 6th. And now a long trade on the Russell. The long goes up to the 50 EMA and is rejected there. Stop and reverses to short at 469. That just misses money management. Comes back and stops and reverses again at 496. 4-tick stop and reverse and then key level in all of those cases. That one gets money management, so that's a break even. Doesn't get a target. So that one comes to break even. And then we get a short trade at 489. It barely triggers in. Judging by the distance that went, you're probably in that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. That then goes for a stop and reverse at 531 to long. That gets target 1 and target 2. So that mitigates our loss a little bit. Good morning, Pamela. And where do we trailer does well as well. 614 from 531 is 83 ticks on the trailer. Target 1 traders .33, target 2 51. But that's certainly not going to erase that's still going to be a losing session by a fairly significant margin, I would say. With a full loss, 1, 2. See, original trade was a full loss. We had 1, 2, 2 stop and reverses, a break even, 3 stop and reverses. So, not a good morning on unleaded. Long trade on the YM, 286. I think I would go to 288 with that, or get it around actually maybe even, let's see, that SMA at 291. Yeah, that's at 86. And it's 5 ticks to, yeah, I'm afraid that's a little too far to adjust. So we'll go with it where it stands. Hopefully that will get us a target, but it looks like it's not going to make it through the 20 SMA. That's a case where I might just wait to test the lows again before before it comes back up. And now I think I would push it to 87 if I weren't already in it. And the Russell with not quite a winner yet, but we've gotten through target 2 and we are trailing. So it will be a positive winning. It actually will be a winning trade. But hasn't gotten to target objective yet. Interesting morning on the pound Aussie as well, starting at 8:30. That trade comes up, and so that certainly would be, you'd be in that trade and takes a full stop out. $19 tick risk, 5 positions is 95 pips. And we pick up a long at 87.11 that stops and reverses at 692. And that trade has hit target 1. Looks like, and target 2, and then trailer is at 678. So we pick up 14 and 24, 38 pips so far. Yeah, let's see, we went 711 to 692. That's another 19. Is that another? Yeah, that's another 19 pips. So that's another 95 ticks, down 190 pips. Long way to go this morning. All right, the YM did come back down, test the lows, but it survived and is now in positive, well, was in positive territory. It just came down through the entry again. And soybeans is still long. And the Russell now going through targets 2 and 3. So second winner, trailing at 53.8. And YM with a winner there. Our initial losing long trade was a get in sync, and that was 70 tick loss. We pick up 35 tick risk, 2 positions. We pick up 24 ticks on target. And our stop now is at 289. Stop and reverse potential on soybeans. That'll be 87.75. That so far still in the long. Russell still at 53.8 for the trailer. That actually was a bigger trade than usual too. .5 to target 1, not extreme, so I would probably go ahead and stay with 3 and 4 rather than coming back to, although, well, I don't know, I might come back to 2 and 3. But it's made all four targets anyway. All right, and we come back, stopped out of the pound Aussie at 78, and now we go long at, looks like 87. So we get .38 pips on the targets. Yep, and we got 14 times, or I'm sorry, 12 times 3. Yeah, 14 times 3. So that would be 42 pips on the additional 3 positions. So that's 80 pips. So we're still down 110 after a full loss and a stop and reverse. Soybeans still long, YM stopping out. And now short, YM stopped out at 294. From the entry at 287, so that's 7 in addition to our 24. We pick up 31. So we're down 39. And now we have a short at 89. Short from 89, that's the stop. There's our money management. And let's pull up micro NQ. Start time is right down here at the end of this short trade. And we just picked up a long trade. And it definitely would be in the long. All right, we got 2 closes above the balance line and we did not hit the unadjusted entry on soybeans, so that stop and reverse is canceled. Two ways you can play that. You can keep the reduced risk or go back to the original stop. That would retain a 9 tick risk as opposed to a 19 tick risk, so that cuts the risk in more than half. Given that strong downward move earlier, I would be inclined to maintain that stop and reverse as just an exit point. Reduce the risk. And the YM getting another winner. 28 ticks on target this time. Stop now at 272. Micro NQ taking a full stop on the long. Have a short setup at 380 3/4. So soybeans is long, YM is short, and we have a short, the pound Aussie is long, and we have a short setup that is not triggered on the micro NQ. YM stop now down to 231. So this will get us positive on the YM. We were down only 11 after target, and we are well beyond that at this point. Since target 1 was 28, we're down close to target 3. We will be positive, and the short on the micro NQ triggers in. New session lows on the NQ, micro NQ, new session lows on the YM. Target 1, and we stopped out of the YM at 226, so that puts the YM positive and done for this session. Soybeans hit target 1. Stop. That's a pretty fair sized target too. That's 13 ticks. And stop will come to 89 3/4. Russell with a long trade. So how much time did we have to get into that? That's only a 6-second bar, so that's trades too well. Actually, that was a 6-second bar, and then you had this. So we'll have to take a look at that. Stopping out. So let's take a look and see if it's an avoided trade or a all right, and now we make it a 4-second chart. There's our setup. 4, 8, and we're 8 seconds back down to the entry. So that's pretty good. Good chance you're in that trade. And so that is a full loss. And pushing through the 50 EMA on soybeans, working for target 2 at 94.75, 94 3/4. Soybeans a quarter-point tick market again. And the stop is at 90.5. Trailing now. So the Russell has 2 winners, 1 loss, and a short setup. Ooh. Micro NQ with a second loss. One more loss will end that session. YM is done positive. Now the short trade on the micro Russell is still valid, even though it's gone through the stop. It did not hit. It did that before it's hit the entry, because it has not hit the entry yet. And okay, if this bar closes up, looks like we've got a crossover. That will cancel the short trade and also set up a long trade if we get an up close. Actually, if we close down, we might still get Yep. So far, we've still got an up cross, and looks like it's going to be an up close as well, probably. Soybeans picking up target 2. For 21 ticks. Gonna be a one and done session. Actually, 96.50 is target 3. That'll be another 20. That'll be 28. Is that where we got to? Yes, it is. Target to all 3 targets. 13, 21, and 28 ticks. So 34, 62 ticks. $15.5 points at $50 a point. $775 just on targets, and we're still trailing. $13.93 for the current trailer. We did get a long setup on the Russell. That triggered in. And we have a long setup on Micro NQ as well. Touch the entry and then pull back. I use a 4-second because it's a quick way to check for our 8-second window. So there is our setup for 8 seconds is back down here. So no, that is probably an avoidable trade. I'd still get in sync possibility. And the Russell with at least well, no, it's trailing, but it hasn't gone to break even yet. That is okay. It went to break even on this. Yeah, it got there. So we should be at break even, and that's a break even stop out, 51.9. So the Russell, trade number 4 is a break even. We'll go to 6 trades on the Russell today. We can take 2 wins or 2 losses. Or 2 more wins or 2 more losses. Wow. Soybeans, $13.95 for the stop. From 89.5, that's 5.5 points. So we're already looking at $1,050 trade. 21 points so far, and the potential for more. And in fact, it just went up another 3/4 of a point, 95 3/4. Looks like it'll go up at least another full point on the close of this bar. 96.75. New short setup on the Russell. Looked like it touched the entry. I'd move that down to 49.8. And we are in our 10 a.m. crude mini session. We have a get in sync trade here that we actually should already be in. I wasn't watching my time. But there is the entry, another entry. So in that trade, crude is long. Definitely in a consolidation. And soybeans finally slowing down a little bit, now up to 97.5. So up to 23.5 points. for the trade, total on the trade. And crude stops out. Russell with a short trade. Definitely in that. Slightly larger trade than usual. Got a little bit of a wick on the setup bar. And soybeans stopping out at 97.50, 23.5 point session. $1,175 for 4 contracts, 3 targets and a trailer. Money management again on the Russell. So 49.7 for our stop. It's going to plot at 49.8, but since we adjusted on the entry a tick. Long trade on crude now. 71.36. That did trigger in. Micro Russell pushing down to new session lows. So all 3 indices setting new session lows in this recent session. And target 3. So that is win number 3 for the Russell. Trailer at 48.3. Stop and reverse possibility on crude. And that's Now that's a little bit more than half. So that would trigger in that, yeah, it did trigger in, so that ends our session with 2 losses. All right, crude session is done. Micro Russell still with the 48.3 for the stop. And did we miss it? Yeah, I think we missed it. Missed it by a tick. Yeah, so it's still surviving so far. Micro NQ just hanging around halfway from the entry to the stop. Right around the cat lines. The long trade is still valid on the Micro NQ and still short on the Micro Russell. YM and soybeans are complete. And third trade would have yielded a target. That would have been 17. So we'd, yeah, money management would have gone down to 07, so target 2 would be our target. Entry would be 17 for stop and reverse. So money management would come down to 07. And we would have gotten targets 2 and target 3 for now 17 and 24. 41 ticks. So that definitely would have been helpful. Pound Aussie working back up to the entry on the long trade there. And we triggered into the long on the Micro NQ. And got target 4 on the Micro Russell on the short side. Russell stopped to 46.7 now. 10 a.m. crude session is done. And stopping out at 46.7 on the Micro Russell. Trade number 6 on the Russell now. Long trade. Push that, just touched the entry and pulled back, so push that up to, I'd push it to 48.1. Just pushing it up one tick would push it to 47.9, which puts you at a key level. That one definitely avoidable at the moment. Indices looking like they're trying to turn up, but having a tough time doing it. YM actually pushing through its 50 EMA at the moment. I believe we just got to 80, and there's the entry to 81. So we are long on the Russell. YM starting to move, and the micro NQ as well. That's a big trade on the micro NQ. But we got a pretty good sized wick on that bar. Yeah, 29 3/4 to target 1. 50.5 to target 2. So I would go targets 1, 2, and 3 on this trade. And the Russell with a loser for the final trade. 3 wins, 2 losses, and a break even on the day. That ends the session for the Russell. All right. And we get a stop and reverse exit for but that's still a loss on the micro NQ. So that is trade number 3, loss number 3, and that ends that session as well. Cut the loss by a little bit, but still more than a bit more than a regular, normal size trade. But that finishes up everything except the pound Aussie, down 110 pips and right at the entry on our long trade. But that's where I'm going to settle it down for the week, unless anybody has questions. Cheers to you too, Pamela. Have a good afternoon across the pond and a great weekend. And everybody else out there, have good luck with trading tomorrow and have a great weekend. And we will see you on Monday. Regular schedule next week. And then the following week, I'll be in on the 23rd, but the 24th of May through June the 6th, through June the 5th, I will be traveling. So next day in the room after the 23rd will be June the 6th. So we will see everybody on Monday.